Namashurara Svo Krishnaya Shrako Vachanamana Mohara Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Number 20. Yeah, is it Partivad Daruno Dumas? Partivad, oh, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Daivim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirahat Nasta Prayeshu Babadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Okay, so text 24. Partivadharano Drumas Tasmad Agnistrayi Maya Tamasastura Jastasmat Sadvam Yad Brahma Darshanam Partivadharano Drumas Tasmad Agnistrayi Maya Tamasastura Jastasmat Sadvam Yad Brahma Darshanam Partivadharano Drumas Tasmad Agnistrayi Maya Tamasasura Jastasmat Sadvam Yad Brahma Darshanam. Ramana Yagna Rama Yagnmatiti, there's some problem? No Wi-Fi here.
Wi-Fi is really slow.
What will be done?
Well, I think they can survive.
Partivat from earth. Are you going to translate? Krishna Kumari. Daruna, firewood. Duma, smoke. Tasmat, from that. Agni, fire. Trai, Vedic sacrifices. Maya, made of. Tamasa, in the mode of ignorance. To, but. Raja, the mode of passion. Tasmat, from that. Sattvam, the mode of goodness. Yat, which. Brahma, the absolute truth. Darshanam, realization. Your Chinese is improving. Translation: firewood is a transformation of earth, but smoke is better than the raw wood, and fire is still better, for by fire we can derive the benefits of superior knowledge through Vedic sacrifices. Similarly, passion, rajas, is better than ignorance, tamas, but goodness, sattva, is best, because by goodness one can come to realize the absolute truth.
译文：木柴是土的转化，但烟比木头强。更好的是火，因为我们可以靠火获取高级知识所带来的那么多利益。同样道理，激情形态比愚昧形态强，但善良形态最好，因为善良形态可以使人领悟绝对真理。
Purport: as explained above, one can get release. One can get release from the conditional life of material existence by devotional service to the personality of Godhead. It is further comprehended herein that one has to rise to the platform of the mode of goodness, sattva, so that one can be eligible for the devotional service of the Lord. But if there are impediments on the progressive path, anyone, even from the platform of tamas, can gradually rise to the sattva platform by the expert direction of the spiritual master. Sincere candidates must therefore approach an expert spiritual master for such a progressive march, and the bona fide expert spiritual master is competent to direct a disciple from any stage of life, tamas, rajas, or sattva. It is a mistake, therefore, to consider that worship of any quality or any form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is equally beneficial. Except Vishnu, all separated forms are manifested under the conditions under the conditions of material energy, and therefore the forms of material energy cannot help anyone to rise to the platform of sattva, which alone can liberate a person from material bondage. The uncivilized state of life, or the life of the lower animals, is controlled by the mode of tamas. The civilized life of man, with a passion for various types of material benefit in the stage of rajas. The rajas stage of life gives a slight clue to the realization of the absolute truth in the forms of fine sentiments in philosophy, art, and culture, with moral, ethical principles. But the mode of sattva is a still higher stage of material quality, which actually helps one in realizing the absolute truth. In other words, there is a qualitative difference between the different kinds of worshipping methods, as well as the respective results derived from the predominating deities, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Hara.
要指正如上面解释的，人可以通过为人格守神做奉爱服务，摆脱物质存在受制约的生活。从这节诗中，我们可以进一步了解到，人必须上升到善良属性的层面，才能有资格为至尊主做奉爱服务。在经验丰富的灵性导师指导下，任何人，哪怕是处在愚昧形态的人，都可以逐渐上升到善良形态上。尽管前进的路上充满障碍，因此真诚的学生必须为了灵性进步去找一位经验丰富的灵性导师。无论门徒处在什么样的生活状态中，是处在愚昧、激情，还是处在善良形态中，真正有经验的灵性导师都有能力给门徒以指导。认为崇拜至尊人格守神的任何特性或任何形象都会得到同等利益的想法是错误的。除了Vishnu形象，所有真理的形象都受物质能量的控制，因此物质能量的众多形象不能帮助人提升到善良层面的善良属性的层面，而善良属性本身就可以使人摆脱物质束缚。未开化的生命状态，低等动物的生命受愚昧属性控制，有各种物质利益的人类文明生活是激情属性控制下的生活。激情属性的生活以美好情操的形式，透过含有道德伦理原则的哲学、艺术和文化，使人对绝对真理有些微的认识，但相比之下 它帮助人真正认识绝对真理。换句话说，对 Brahma、Vishnu 和 Ram 和 Shiva 这三位复数的神灵不同方式的崇拜，以及所得到的各种结果，在质上是不同的。
Finished? Yeah. Om Jnanatamasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Saksurunmilitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Pakadamaya Isvapadantikam Ham Shri Guru Shri Yata Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Nitamscha Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Jai Shri Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
This is an important verse which all verses are important. Some we can more easily understand and talk about. So it's kind of easy to understand. Firewood grows out of the ground. But smoke is better than the wood. And fire is better. Of course, we might say, well, we can use wood to build our house and everything. We can use wood for many purposes. But in this case, it's talking about the yagya and cooking and things like that. You need fire. So by the fire, we can do the yagya to get Vedic knowledge. Then the point is that the mode of passion is better than ignorance. In the mode of ignorance, generally people aren't doing anything except make trouble. The monkeys are compared to their ignorance. They're very clever, but they just make a lot of trouble. They're stealing and making mess everywhere.
他们很聪明，但是这个猴子会去偷东西。
And the mode of passion is better, but those animals in the mode of passion, it's like tigers and other animals like that.
激情形态要好一些，但是处在激情形态当中的动物，像是老虎和狮子。
And then mode of goodness is better.
善良形态是最好的。
The cow is compared to the mode of goodness.
比如说母牛，它们就处在善良形态之中。
Cows don't take anything that humans need.
那个牛不会吃人类吃的任何的东西。
Monkeys will steal, tigers will come and kill people in the market or something.
但是猴子会去偷大家的东西，然后老虎和狮子会吃人。
The cow just eats grass, or some cows hardly even get grass, but still they can make milk.
母牛它们只吃草，但是它们却挤出来的是奶。
And even the dead body of the cow is very valuable.
甚至牛的尸体也是很有用处的。
Not that you should kill the cow, because then it's not very valuable, but when a cow dies naturally, the skin is valuable, the
不是说
bones.
我们杀死这个母牛，而是当母牛它自然的死去的时候，比如说它的皮是很有用处的。
If you bury a cow, then you get so much some kind of valuable chemical for fertilizer.
如果我们把牛的尸体埋到土里面，我们可以从中获得很多有益的化学元素。这个土壤对于土壤来说，
If you take the horn of the cow, it's hollow, and fill it with cow dung and bury that, then it fertilizes a very big area, very powerful.
这个牛的角，如果把这个角里面装上牛粪，然后埋到地底下作为肥料，这个肥料可以滋养很大的一片土地。
But the living cow is valuable. People don't realize it. The milk is very valuable because you can make ghee for jagya. You can make yagya with ghee.
活着的母牛呢，它也很有价值，很多人并不知道这一点。比如说牛挤出的奶有很多的用途，可以去制作酥油，酥油就会在祭祀当中用到。
And Srila Prabhupada is always saying how milk is so important, especially because it nourishes the finer tissues of the brain.
帕帕德总说牛奶是非常有价值的，因为它会去滋养大脑里面很细的一些。
And I heard recently one devotee was speaking, and they had somebody who was some kind of scientist, and they asked him about that, and he said, yeah, now modern science is understanding that milk has something in it that is really good for the brain.
有一个奉献者和一个科学家在对话，科学家就说到，是的，现在我们发现，在牛奶当中有非常有利于大脑的东西。
So the demons, they make a lot of propaganda against milk.
那些恶魔，他们就声称他们非常反对这个牛奶，这些恶魔。
It's a very terrible thing. But in the mode of goodness, then we can move up to understand spiritual things.
所以这些恶魔做的这种事情就很糟糕。只有当一个人处于善良形态之中的时候，他才可以逐渐上升到灵性的层面。
In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, he describes the mode of goodness.
在《佛家放多》当中就形容了善良属性。
All the different modes, what kind of things come out from the different modes.
所有的属性都有所描述在《佛家放多》之中。
So then we can see we much prefer the mode of goodness.
所以我们更希望拥有善良属性。
Kali Yuga, people are so bewildered because a person that's really in the mode of goodness, he won't be running around like a madman working all the time, just trying to get money or something.
在塔利年代，人们非常的迷惑，因为一个真正处于善良形态的人，他不会整天奔波于工作，像一个动物一样的拼命的去赚钱和工作。
So sometimes they confuse the mode of ignorance with the mode of goodness.
所以法力年代的人有的时候就会把善良心态和愚昧心态混淆。
So the modes of nature, the Bhagavad Gita has 700 slokas.
罗家梵歌有700多个诗节，
And 100 of them are about the modes of nature.
其中100个诗节提到了这种物质的形态，
So that's, important then,
所
obviously.
以这非常的重要。
We have to know how the modes are working.
我们要知道所有物质的属性，它
We
们是
choose.
运作的，
We can choose which mode we want to associate with.
所以我们就可以选择自己想和哪一种自然的属性去联谊。
If we walk down the road there where we did Harinam, you see mostly is an invitation to dive into the mode of ignorance. Deep diving.
我们在哈瑞纳的时间就可以看到，大多数的人深深的处于愚昧心态之中，这个事情。
Seafood and so much unmentionable food.
比如说，这个餐厅在售卖着海鲜，各种各样的质量很糟糕的食物。
And Big Chang and Big Leo and Big whatever they are. Right? That's, you don't read the signs maybe, but Big Chang is beer. Leo, beer, so it advertises. And they give really big one, and people sit there with this huge beer and one happy hour, all the beer you want for 600 yen, or 600 baht for 1 hour.
啤酒的瓶子，各种啤酒的品牌，比如说六，
Hurry up.
很多啤酒的牌子，大家会放一个很大的酒杯在那个地方。酒吧当中他会说，happy hour， 就是在这个特定的时间，你可以无限量的去饮酒。
Saw one place in Bali, it said money can't buy happiness.
在巴厘岛有一个地方有标语说到，金钱没有办法购买快乐，
But it can buy beer, and that's just as good.
但是金钱可以买啤酒，啤酒就可以带来快乐。
That's all. We didn't see any advertisement for Krishna or anything else.
我们没有见到任何去宣传奎师那的这种标语。
Except there's a tour of temples. They do have one tour that goes to different temples.
除了有一个标语说，这是庙宇的旅行，就是去参观不同的庙宇，这样一个广告。
So we have to choose, no, we want Hare Krishna. That's why we're chanting, trying to help people.
所以我们要做出自己的选择，因此我们念诵 Hare Krishna， 我们就可以去帮助那些人。
So the mode of goodness is more pure and it's illuminating.
所以善良心态它更纯净，它是有光芒的，光芒的，
And is free from sinful reactions.
并且它让一个人避免所有的罪恶活动。
Those who are situated in that become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge.
但是处于善良心态中的人，他们被快乐的感觉以及知识所制约。
We're trying to become air conditioned, but we can become conditioned by the mode of goodness also. Then we won't get too much disturbed by external things.
所以我们就是空调这个词叫 air condition， condition 是制约的意思。然后就是说我们喜欢吹空调，它也是 conditioning。但是我们尝试需要进入善良属性之中，我们就不会做那么多的罪恶活动。
So we'll think, I'm not suffering, I have air conditioning.
有的人可能说，我没有在受苦，我在吹空调，这个空调就是 air conditioning， 它是一种。
And Prabhupada explained that because you're suffering, that's why you have air conditioning.
帕帕德说，其实因为你在这个物质世界，
Otherwise you wouldn't need it.
所以我们才需要空调，否则的话我们是不需要这个东西的。
So the mode of passion, unlimited desires, and
在激情属性当中，人们有无穷无尽的欲望。
so then one gets tangled up in fruitive activities, trying to get more and more and more.
这个时候，人们就会被功利性的活动所捆绑，就放在这个地方，欲望越来越多。
But the Kali Yuga is trying to get us to want more and more things, and never be satisfied. Get in the mode of passion, because then you work hard and you spend all the money.
卡利年代就引导大家去发出各种各样子的愿望和欲望，比如说人们努力的挣钱，然后用这些钱去满足自己的物质愿望，去购物，买越来越多的东西，但是从来都没有得到满足。
Many people in Thailand and these countries, they work in factories for very little pay.
很多泰国的人在工厂做工，他们得到的薪水非常的微薄。
Making designer things for rich people, like for us. They can't afford them, they make fake ones.
这些工人就负责给这些富人去制造一些奢侈品。
Here we see all the genuine fake, right? Genuine fake watches, genuine fake everything.
比如说在泰国，我们就见到很多的仿制的仿奢侈品，手表呀、奢侈品的包包啊，仿制的。
I saw a shop once, and the name of the shop was Genuine Fake Watches. They had all like China has all that. They come from China.
有一个商店的名字就叫真实伪造，就是说。
So we don't want to be genuine fake devotees, but we want to be real devotees.
但是我们不想要伪造的奉献者，我们想要真的奉献者。
The tamasic gun, that is darkness and ignorance and delusion.
所以愚昧形态就代表了黑暗，代表了无知，代表了愚昧。
And the results is madness.
它产生的结果就是疯狂。
Madness means insanity.
疯狂就意味着是没有理智的，是没有任何的头脑。
Indolence and sleep.
并且非常的懒惰，很奢睡。
People in the mode of ignorance, they don't want to wake up.
处在愚昧形态当中的人，他们不想醒来。
They pull down a big steel door at night, and they have curtains, and stay in the dark.
他们就在晚上把窗帘拉上，处在一片的黑暗之中，然后盖上被子，沉浸在这种黑暗中睡眠之中。
In Japan, they have all these underground shopping malls.
在日本，他们有很多的地下商城。
They like that. It never gets dark, or it's always the same.
日本人
Same temperature, same everything.
喜欢这种地下的商场，因为他们总是亮着灯，不受白天黑夜的影响。
So I was going down into one once, and there was a big television,
我去过
the whole wall.
这样一个地下的商场，它这个地方有一个很大的电视，巨大的电视，
It was a rock and roll band.
上面有摇滚乐队。
I don't want to face the day.
这个乐队所唱的歌，我不想要面对白天，我不想迎接白天，
Just close the curtains,
就把窗帘关上，
turn off the lights.
关闭所有的灯。
Life is too, like the tattoo shop said there, life is pain.
就像纹身的店所写的广告一样，生活是痛苦。
So he says the mode of goodness conditions us to happiness,
善良形态会让一个人被这种快乐的感受所支配，
passion to fruitive action,
在积极形态，人们会从事功利性
and ignorance attaches us to insanity.
愚昧形态会让一个
And
人
they're competing. Sometimes we're dominated by passion, sometimes ignorance.
这三种不同的形态总是在竞争当中，有的时候激情形态占主导，有的时候其他的形态占主导。
So we should try for the mode of goodness.
所以我们应该争取，
Even though chanting lifts us above the modes,
虽然念诵是处
Bhakti lifts us above the modes. And devotees work also to preach. It looks like passion, but it's not. It's not fruitive. They're just actually trying to please Krishna.
当奉献者去传教、去活动、这个工作的时候，看起来
Building a temple, it looks like passion.
建庙的
You
时
have
候，
to get money,
好像是激情形态的事情，
but
但
it's
是
different.
并不是这样子。
So when there's more passion, then there's attachment, intense endeavor, uncontrollable desires.
当激情形态占主导时，大家就会有很多的依附。
When there's ignorance, there's darkness, inertia.
愚昧形态呢，它就代表了黑暗以及
Everybody know what inertia is? Inertia?
inertia 就是惰性。
Inertia.
惰性。
I learned that in physics class, right?
我们在物理课中听到过这个词。
One of Newton's laws.
牛顿的物理学当中听到过这个词。
An object in motion tends to stay in motion.
这个物理学就讲到一个处在动态当中的物体，它就会导致
And an object at rest tends to stay at rest.
一个
Inertia.
的物体，它是
To give a kick. But we want to be moving towards Krishna. So we want to get the mode of goodness is better because you can get up to the transcendental from that.
我们想要向着奎师那前进，善良属性是最好的，因为在善良属性，一个人可以上升到灵性的层面。
But it's not, so Bhagavad Gita tells us activities in the different modes. It's all depending on our motivation. And the mode of goodness, there's no desire for a reward or anything. Just doing it out of duty.
所以佛在梵歌就形容了这三不同的物质形态当中的活动是什么样子的。在善良形态当中，每一个人他去活动，但是不是目的性的活动，他不追求活动的回报。
So, like Lord Chaitanya said, Amani Namanadena, Kirtaniya Sadhari, offering all respect to others, but not expecting anything in return.
就像主持人亚在发传会中当中说到的，阿玛尼亚、玛纳雷达、玛纳尼亚、克尼亚、萨拉拉伊就把所有活动的结果给到主，然后我们尊重每一个人。
So depending on what mode of nature we're attached to, the next life will be.
所以取决于我们在这里是我们处于的什么样子的形态，我们依附什么样的物质形态，我们在下一世就会得到一种特定的生命。
So fire is important for most humans, they need for cooking,
对于大多数的人来说，火是非常重要
but not just for cooking. We want to make yajna.
我们也可以用火来做祭祀，
It should be for Krishna. Yajna means for Vishnu.
应该是为奎师那威什努而做。
But the Mahayajna is chanting the holy name.
但是马哈雅典最大的祭祀是念诵圣名，
The Sankirtan Yajna.
是散日汉雅典。
Hari Rama, Hari Nama, Hari Nam, Eva Kevalam, Kaluvana, Stevana, Stevana, Stev, Katir Anyata. So we can see it's so easy to do.
我们可以见到这种祭祀看是很容易去做的，念诵圣名很容易就可以去做。
And we'll notice, like in the Harinam, in the Kirtan, nobody gets too worried about who's next to you or anything.
在哈日亮或者科尔的时候，别人会特别的在意你身边是谁，
Nobody needs a translation.
没有人需要翻译。
Like we're in a group, an international group here.
我们是国际的这样一个团队，
So in the Kirtan, everybody's together.
但是在科尔
If it gets to be a really big Kirtan, everything's all mixed up.
大家可以在一起科尔就是很多的人无数
Right?
都可以聚在一起科尔
But when we sit down for prasadam, everybody gets together with their own group.
但是我们普萨的时候，每个人就会去找到自己的小组，然后自己的人坐在一起。
The Nepalis sit with each other, the Thai sit with each other, the Chinese sit with... It's natural, so we can talk, right? Although ideally, a Vaishnava is not supposed to talk during prasadam, except to say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. When I first was with the devotees, there was one devotee, his name was Narada Muni. He was actually the first devotee I saw doing kirtan. He was by himself, you know. He was just chanting, Hare Krishna, really intense. I thought, this is it. That's what I'm looking for. I didn't know what I was looking for. But when he was taking prasadam, he would be really into it. And all of a sudden, Prabhupada! He's saying, Prabhupada! And he eat a little bit more, Prabhupada! Everybody only talked about Prabhupada. So, we want to understand and eat in the mode of goodness and talk in the mode of goodness so that we can have the right mentality to chant purely. So please study these, in also chapter 17 talks about how charity in the different modes and everything in the different modes. And you can know. Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Kap kun kap. Shiye. So now we'll hear from B.V.V. Narasimha Swami. Somebody has to move this.
Yeah, Prabhupada makes the point in the purport that you have to come to the mode of goodness really to do devotional service. Bhagavad Gita says, Brahma Buddha Prasanatma. Right? Brahma Buddha means Brahma Buddha means you know you're Brahman, you're not the body. So you have to come to that platform to actually engage in devotional service. But then Prabhupada continues, he said, even you're in the mode of ignorance or in the mode of passion, you can also be guided by the spiritual master and come to devotional service. We were on Harinam one day in London, and this young woman came, she was on drugs, you know, and somehow she was attracted to the Sankirtan party. And she come back to the temple with us, became a devotee. So from the mode of ignorance, although she was in the mode of ignorance, dark ignorance, she somehow became attracted to the Sankirtan movement and she took up devotional service. And she's still a devotee.
现在他还是一个奉献者。
So devotional service is open to everyone, whether they're in the mode of goodness or the mode of passion or the mode of ignorance.
所以奉爱服务是向每一个人开放的，无论这个人是处在积极形态、愚昧形态还是善良形态之中。
We don't discriminate about who's qualified and who's not qualified.
我们并不会去区别对待，说谁有资质，谁没有资质。
The main thing is that they're willing to take up the process of devotional service.
就看他们自己是否愿意去从事奉爱服务。
Just like anyone can be a devotee, but you have to follow the 4 principles.
任何人其实都可以成为奉献者，它取决于你是否愿意遵循4项规范原则。
You have to chant 16 rounds.
你是要念诵16圈，
You have to follow the instructions of the spiritual teacher.
你需要遵循灵性导师的训示。
So you follow the instructions and you'll get benefit. We all became purified.
当我们遵循这些训示的时候，我们逐渐的就会被净化。
But without the instructions of the spiritual master, we just have our own ideas, then we cannot expect to come to devotional service.
但是如果没有得到灵性导师的指导，我们只是活在自己的这个想法里面，就没有办法进入到奉爱服务之中。
We get devotion from devotees.
我们从奉献者那里得到奉爱，
That's why association is so important.
这是为什么联谊如此的重要。
Without association with devotees, where are you going to get devotion from?
如果没有奉献者的联谊，我们从哪里能够得到这个奉爱呢？
Without the association, then there's no kirtan, there's no hearing and chanting.
如果没有联谊的话，就没有歌坛，也没有聆听和念诵。
There has to be that connection, that association with the devotee.
所以我们需要这种连接和奉献者的联谊。
We see Prahlad Maharaj was questioned by his father. His father was a big demon and he wanted his son to be a nice demon.
我们听到普拉达的马哈拉什就被他的爸爸所审问，而他的父亲是一个大恶魔。这个大恶魔就希望他的儿子成为一个小恶魔。
So Hiranyakashipu could not understand how his son would be a devotee.
所以人家开始后就没有办法明白他的儿子怎么就成为奉献者了。
Because his father had done everything to make him into a nice demon. He'd put him in the school with all the demon children and he had him to be trained by the demons.
因为他的父亲倾尽了所有，想要把他的儿子培养成一个恶魔，把他的儿子送到恶魔的学校里面，和那些其他的小恶魔待在一起，让恶魔去指导他。
But Prahlad only wanted devotional service because he had already heard, he'd already taken the opportunity to associate with a devotee.
但是巴布拉塔他只想要奉爱服务，因为他之前有过这种联谊，
He'd taken shelter from Narada Muni.
他曾经出自于那拉达姆。
And similarly, Jad previously he was Bharat Maharaj and he went to the Himalayas. He went up to Ganduki where the shaligrams are flowing in the Ganduki river.
扎的巴拉塔他在前一世是巴拉的马哈拉，他去到了萨那山上，到冈布地的地方，去了冈布地的地方就有很多的沙利果。
He was very renounced. He was detached. He gave up his kingdom. He left his family. He left all the opulence, all the wealth. And he went to the mode, completely to the mode of goodness, way up in the Himalayas.
所以巴拉的马哈拉是非常的气绝，他离开了自己的宫殿，离开了他的家人、他的家庭，放弃了所有的财富，他完全的陷到善良心态之中。
But he got attached to a deer. And he ended up becoming a deer in his next life.
但是他遇上了一头鹿，在他的下一世他就变成了一只小鹿。
So although he was in the mode of goodness, he fell down. He had to become an animal in his next life.
所以虽然他当时已经在善良心态当中，但是他堕落了，他成为了一个动物在下一世。
Who would like to be a dog in their next life?
是有人想成为一只狗吗？
You'd like to be a horse?
有人想成为一匹马吗？
You'd like to be an elephant?
有人想成为大象吗？
One time they asked the daughter, there was the princess, the daughter of the Queen of England. The Queen of England, she died. But her daughter, Princess Anne, she was a princess born in the royal family of England. And so they asked her, if you had not been a princess, what would you have liked to be?
有一次，有人就问英国女王的女儿安娜公主，就问安娜公主说：“如果你没有出生在王室，没有成为公主，那你想做什么成为谁呢？”
She said, oh, I think it would be nice to be a dolphin.
她说道：“我觉得做一只海豚挺好的。
You know, dolphins that swim in the sea up and down.
这个海豚就在海里面游泳，然后上蹿下跳。”
So that was her understanding, that was her appreciation of human life.
所以这就是她的认知，她对人类生命的一种认知和体验。
So Jadparat, he had to become a deer. Why did he become a deer? He was in the mode of goodness, away up in the Himalayas. He was detached, but still he became an animal.
所以扎勒巴让他为什么会成为一只鹿呢？他非常的气绝，他处在善良心态之中，去到了喜马拉雅山，为什么他还会成为一个动物呢？
Because no association.
因为他没有处在联谊之中。
He had no association. He had no one there to remind him to get up in the morning and to chant Hare Krishna and to sit and hear Srimad Bhagavatam.
因为他没有联谊，就没有人提醒他，早上4点钟要起来了，要去参加party，然后要去聆听国家法坛。
And because of no association, he got attached to an animal and had to take another birth as an animal.
因为没有联谊，所以他就依附了这个动物，下一世他就得到了动物的躯体。
So association is so important. We have to take advantage.
所以联谊非常的重要，我们要好好的去利用这种机会。
If we associate with people in the mode of ignorance, you take on the qualities of the people you associate with.
如果我们和处在愚昧心态当中的人联谊，我们就会近朱者赤，近墨者黑，感染上他们的品质。
We see the people come to places like these hot beach resorts in Thailand, and they come to engage in sinful activities.
所以很多的人来到泰国的这种度假地方去参加，从事一些罪恶的活动。
Drink their beer, smoke their marijuana,
他们去喝啤酒，去吸大麻，
and eat the seafood,
去吃海鲜。
and they think that this is enjoyment.
他们认为这就是享乐。
So that is enjoyment for people in the mode of ignorance. And people in the mode of ignorance, next life they will take birth as animals.
这是愚昧心态之中的人的快乐。这些人在下一世会获得动物的躯体。
People in the mode of passion, they like the heavy music, they like the they like the loud music, the vibrations of the electric instruments.
在激情心态当中的人喜欢这种摇滚的音乐，嘈杂的音乐，他们喜欢这种频率和振动。
They like the motorbikes which can go very fast.
他们喜欢骑着摩托车，然后去很远的地方。
or the racing cars,
或者是喜欢那种赛车，
and the food should be very hot and spicy.
食物应该是很刺激的食物，应该是很辣的那种。
The restaurant advertises, "Come and taste the passion."
这个餐厅的广告语就写到，来这里去感受激情。
So you enjoy these kind of passionate things. You die in the mode of passion. Next life you'll come back again in the mode of passion.
如果你死亡的时候是在激情喜菜当中去世的，在下一世你来到这个世界上，你就会被安排在一个激情属性的环境当中。
The results of the mode of passion are suffering.
而激情属性产生的结果是受苦。
From the mode of passion, people go down further into the mode of ignorance.
在激情形态当中的人，他们会继而堕落到愚昧属性之中。
So we have to come up to the mode of goodness.
所以我们要上升到善良属性之中。
We're on the passionate planet. Earth is a place of passion, this whole planet.
我们在激情属性的星球上，这个地球就是一个处在激情属性的星球。
The higher planets are more in the mode of goodness.
高等的星球，它们更多的是处在善良形态之中，
And the lower planets are more in the mode of ignorance.
而低等的星球是愚昧形态。
We want to come up to, but we don't want to just go up to the higher planets.
但是我们不是想要去仅仅去到高等的星球，
Because even on the higher planets, there is also old age, disease, and death.
因为即使在高等的星球，它们也是有生老病死的存在。
Even Lord Brahma worries about the end of life.
主 Brahma 也会担心他生命结束的那一天。
And the demigods, they go up to the heavenly planets, but they come down again.
一些半神会去到天上星球，他们也会在跌落下来。
So we have to understand the nature of these modes of nature. Constantly they're fluctuating, sometimes in the mode of passion, sometimes goodness, and a lot of ignorance.
所以我们需要知道，物质自然的三种形态，它们总是处在变化和变动之中。有的时候，可能这个善良形态多一些，有的时候另外的多一些。
So how can we stay free above the modes? We have to engage in devotional service.
我们怎么样能够让自己处在三种物质形态之上呢？就是去从事热爱。
This is described in Bhagavad Gita. Mam chayo vaya bicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Sagunam samatityakam brahma bhuyaya kaupate. Anyone who engages in devotional service, then they immediately transcend the modes of nature and come to the level of Brahman.
在这个世界当中，就提到了任何从事奉爱服务的人，他立刻就超越了物质三种的属性，处在 Brahma 的层面。
So we want to constantly keep ourselves engaged in devotional service.
所以我们想让自己总是参与到奉爱服务之中。
That's why we chant. We have our bead bags that we can constantly be chanting the holy name.
这是为什么我们会有念珠带，所以我们可以总是念诵圣名。
Mahaprabhu Shikshastikam says, Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Always chant the holy name.
马哈帕布在八卷归宗当中就说到，斯坦尼亚萨达哈利总是念诵圣名。
So if we're remembering Krishna, that is the success in life.
如果我们总是能够记着Krishna，这个就是生命的成功。
Smartavyam tatatam Vishnu, Vishmartavya najatu krit, Sarve vidi niseda shur, Itayor eva kinkara. The most important rule of all rules and regulations, the most important one is always remember Krishna and never forget him.
在所有的 集当中所有的原则当中最重要的一个就是永远记住Krishna，不要忘记他。
So we want to practice that constantly. Wherever the mind wanders, bring it back. Keep the mind on Krishna.
所以我们想去练习这种恒常的记，总是记住Krishna。当我们的心意离开了Krishna的时候，我们再把它拽回来。
Okay, any questions?
There's a question from online.
Oh yeah?
This is to Guru Maharaj. Is a deer animal in the mode of goodness? Deer.
Is the deer an animal in the mode of goodness? Maharaj? Maharaj doesn't think a deer is in the mode of goodness.
Cow is because the cow gives milk and cow dung is super valuable.
The deer is living in the Himalayas. It's living in a quiet place, peaceful place, but
Not all of them.
it's not doing, it doesn't give anything.
马老师说这个鹿它可能处在喜马拉雅山很僻静的地方，但是它不像母牛那样，它会吃草产出奶。这个鹿会就是提供这么有价值的东西，所以它不是善良心态的动物。
Animals in general are all in the mode of ignorance, but there's certain qualities of certain creatures which are better than other animals.
通常所有的动物都是处在愚昧属性当中，但是一些动物它的品质好过于其他一些动物。
Just like crows. The crow is always in the garbage, it's very much in the mode of ignorance.
就像乌鸦总是在垃圾的地方，它们是愚昧心态。
But the swan will be in the lake where there's lotus flowers, where the water is very clear.
但是天鹅就会在很清澈的水里面，荷花盛开的地方。
And the crows are black, dirty looking creatures.
这个乌鸦就是很肮脏的、很埋汰的动物。
And the swan is beautiful, graceful, and white colored.
天鹅是非常美丽和优雅的动物。
Of course, there's also black swans.
也有黑色的天鹅。
In Australia, they have black swans.
在澳大利亚有黑色的天鹅。
Hmm? Not so beautiful.
They are.
They are. Yeah, they are. Yeah, although black swans are also very graceful.
黑色的天鹅也非常的优雅。
And they're also in the clear water with the lotus flowers.
它们也待在清澈的水里面，在莲花池。
But animals, the modes of nature fluctuate, so even an animal can sometimes act in the mode of goodness.
但是因为物质自然的形态一直在变动当中，所以一个动物有的时候它可能出现在善的形态比较多一点，有的时候它的行为可能展示出的更多的是其他的形态。
I read about one young girl. She was feeding some crows.
一个年轻的小女孩，马哈尔是听说，就是有一次她在喂这个乌鸦，
And she had a big box full of things crow brought to her. They'd find some shiny thing somewhere, and the crow would bring this girl a present, eat, go away, and bring it.
这个小女孩就带了一大盒子的东西，然后这个乌鸦，
Gratitude. She's grateful.
乌鸦就会为了感激她的食物，会给这个小女孩带来一些闪闪发光的小东西，感谢她。
Many humans, they can't even think like that. You give them something, they think, well, you should have given it yesterday. I didn't really want this.
有些人类甚至都没有这种品质，比如说我给了某一个人什么东西，这个人会说你怎么昨天没有把这个东西给我呀？或者说，就是
You're
他们
supposed to think, oh, if they gave me something, I have to give them something even better.
我们应该想的是，哦，他们给了我什么，我应该给他们一个更好的东西。
That's how it is with Radha Krishna. Radharani does something to please Krishna, and he thinks, well, I have to do even more to please her, and it's never-ending competition.
这就是 Radha 和 Krishna 之间的这种互动。当 Radha 给了 Krishna 什么东 东西的时候，可是他会想我应该回馈给他更好的东西去取悦他。
So there's always competition between the modes.
所以不同的物质形态当中，他们总是处在变化竞争当中。
Someone's trying to be in the mode of goodness, but they get influenced some days by passion and ignorance.
有的人他想处在善良形态当中，但是有一些的日子他会被激情形态和愚昧形态影响。
Just like cows, cows, sometimes they kick, and sometimes they'll hit you with their horns.
就像母牛，它有的时候也会踢人，有的时候也会用它的脚去踢人。
So sometimes they also get angry mood.
有的时候这些牛也会生气。
And not all cows give give milk. Not all cows give milk, but some cows, Other cows, well, they give dung. They give the cow dung, which is useful, but
也不是所有的牛都会产奶，有的牛它的牛粪是可以用的。
But cow, even the dung and the urine are very good.
这个牛的尿和粪也是很有用途的。
Not just for fertilizer, but for medicine.
不仅是化肥，它可以作为药。
And if you put cow dung on the walls and the floor, then no bugs come in your house.
如果我们把这个牛粪铺在墙上或者地上的话，就不会有蚊虫，就不会有虫子。
Cow urine is super powerful.
牛的尿呢，它可以治疗很多不同的疾病。
It's also insecticide for farmers.
它也是一种防虫剂。这个农
It's
民
unique, and other animals are not like that.
其他的动物没有这么多的，就不像牛一样。
Generally, the stool of any animal is horrible.
通常任何动物的粪便都是很糟糕的东西。
what about bulls?
Bulls are
Can you use the stool of the bull?
yeah.
And the urine of the bull?
I don't know about the urine, but for fertilizer. The bull, just by grazing, makes the land.
以前他们还是说，那这个公牛呢，还是甚至还是说公牛它的粪便是可以做化肥，或者他们在这个地上吃草的时候，就是相当于给这个农作物，反正是干活，给这个农场地干活也是有用处。但是公牛的尿不太了解。
But animals like humans, they're not all in the same mode.
动物也像人类，不是所有的动物都处在同一种形态当中。
Some dogs are always angry and fighting and chasing people.
有的狗总是很生气，总是喜欢咬人，喜欢去赶人，喜欢去追着。
Some dogs are dedicated servants,
有的狗是
helping
忠于
police and army.
它是忠于服务的，比如说像是警犬。
You get dogs help the blind person, the guide dog. They'll take care of they'll guide a person.
比如说像是导盲犬就会帮助盲人。
So they're trained. Some dog, like that you can train. They're domestic animals.
有一些狗它就会去做很好的服务。
See, in America, in the airport in New York, they have places for dogs to pass
在美国的纽约就有专门
service dogs.
这个狗过的地方。
Many people have a service dog.
因为很多的人他都有导盲，像是导盲犬这种服务自己
Blind
的
people, they have a dog.
像是盲人需要牵着狗，跟狗引导他去走路。
And people have this epilepsy. Epilepsy.
Epilepsy, what's that called? It's on the brain.
有人可能中风的人，
不是中风，是另外一个
Got it?
epilepsy.
瘫痪，
电 something 电
他的脑就是神经好像有点问题。脑瘫，
脑瘫 maybe. I don't think there's another word for it. No. Anyway,
so they have like a seizure. Start and they fall on the ground. Sometimes they get hurt.
sometimes a loud sound, a lot of noise, they just crack up, they break down. Dance. What about
with these dogs? They're trained. And they can know ahead of time. So when the person is, before he can do that, a lot of them have to wear a football helmet or something so they don't get hurt. The dog knocks him into a chair. And then he sits on top of him. So then they can't get hurt. Very important service. No human could do that.